Welcome to War with a Mate, with me, James.
Me, Andy.
That's both of us.
Yeah, our podcast where we play the campaign for North Africa in its entirety.
Yeah, you stumbled over a little bit there, you should know now. Because this is episode 10.
The big 10-0.
It's the big 1-0. This isn't episode 100. That's a different number, my friend. Different number.
Fucked it from .1.
Oh, redo it. We'll have to cut this one, put it in the bin,
Edit that out.
start again. No, we don't edit on this. I do edit. I promise.
You better be.
Well, you don't know. I send over the finished audio file.
Yeah, the first one, I checked that, and then since then, it's just nothing.
That's how you get them. Trust, don't verify. So, today we've been continuing, as you may know, what we're trying to do, which is play the game. And we're getting pretty good at nearly playing the game.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to actually playing the game when we nearly play the game.
We're doing a really good job of nearly playing the game. We've got some more developments in terms of putting almost all of the things down on the board that we need to. We've put down supply dumps. We've put down all of the airfields, all of the airstrips. I've started assigning my aircraft to the various airstrips.
Yeah, I've started, not airstrips, I've started putting them in squadrons, but we've given ourselves a little bit of homework for next time.
That's right, yeah. We've decided in amongst all of this, because we're only playing for about 3-4 hours a time, and the setup is taking a half hour either side, we've decided, a bit of homework is in order. What we're going to do is take some of it with us, and all of the planning of where the sort of aircraft are going to be, the supply dumps, that sort of thing. We're going to do that in the week in between, because we don't need each other there for that. We don't. A bit of moral support would be nice, but
it's not a great use of our limited time to be sitting in silence filling spreadsheets out.
And that's been what most of this is so far.
Yeah.
So we should probably use this time instead to just actually play the game in a competitive sense, rather than. I mean, so much of it is bookkeeping, but we can probably shave down some of the time if we're doing some of the bookkeeping in between the play sessions.
Yeah, it should hopefully mean we're just playing when we're here.
Because this is all about beating the game. It's not about one of us winning. We've got our own stakes for that. This is about getting through this damn thing. And it's feeling real now, in the sense of, I think I've said that a few times now, but the sense of having all the pieces down on the board and the fact that there's not really anything else to plan other than actual gameplay stuff.
Yeah.
Like where the units are, we now know, and we've put down the supplies. We've got the aircraft ready to put down. We just need to choose which airfield the squadrons go to. And the homework we have, I need to plan my shipping convoys so that all of my supplies can actually show up. And you need to plan how to bomb my shipping convoys.
Yeah, so I need to plan how to not let your supplies show up.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing in between this week and next. It's me getting my resources somewhere and you trying to stop that happening, which is also the first phase of the actual game, is me planning that. That's actually part of the game in the actual turn.
Into the turn.
Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing this week is actually the very first part of the full turn.
Yes.
Rather than just setting up the game, it's actually part of the game, like the turn. So that means at some point during the week, we've officially started the first turn.
Yeah, I guess when you get some free time.
Yeah, which hopefully it comes around. The issue being, of course, I've almost foreshadowed it in the last 2 recordings, saying that I'm coming down with something. And today I have actually come down with something, but it's very self-inflicted because I've given myself food poisoning with some very poorly cooked chicken. So I've been ill all through the night. All of today I've felt rotten. So I'm hoping this just subsides over the next 24 hours so I can have some spare time that isn't just me clutching my gut in pain and filling the room with unpleasant odours.
Just take the laptop into the bathroom and just get some work done on the toilet.
That's not going to happen. I don't want that to sort of dirty the image. It already has a bit of a stain, a bit of a mar on what we're trying to do here. I feel like if I'm in a smelly bathroom because of my own self-inflicted salmonella, which I think is what it may well be, I don't think it's going to make me feel very positive about this.
That's not a good sense memory for you.
No, it's not.
Associating naval convoys with the smell of your own shit.
Or vice versa. Every time I go to take a shit from now on, I'll be thinking about how I'm going to get my forces to Tripoli.
17,000 tons! Ah!
I need to get my men to Tripoli, but my bum smells. So, all in all, this week, yeah, gut problems allowing should be the start of the game. But that's the price you pay when you're at war. You know, not all of the water is going to be particularly drinkable. Not all of the rations are going to be fully cooked. You know, I tried to cook chicken when it was frozen.
Yeah.
From frozen. I didn't account for how long it'll take to cook. You know, people have been, chastising me all day saying that it's impossible to cook it from frozen. It's not impossible. You just need to do it better than I did.
You just heat it through until it's, like, chilled, as it were, and then, yeah, you can cook frozen stuff.
Of course you can. I'm a bit of a connoisseur of cooking frozen things, like sort of chicken nuggets and stuff like that. It's just I went for actual chicken breast.
I don't know why they think it doesn't apply until it's in nugget form.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've went out my comfort zone here. I went for just chicken breast, but I was stung by that cruel mistress of the culinary arts, which is
shit.
Which is shit. I don't think that's the cruel mistress of the culinary arts.
The ultimate food critic.
My gut. So, yeah, I think all in all, this is a step in the right direction because it's progress.
Yeah, it's gone from like a frustrating rule book that I had no way of like picture anything to now a daunting game we're about to start. But it's actually, things are resolving.
Well, you say that, Andy. You say a frustrating rule book. We did have a moment of frustration today. Me more than you because it relates to some of my rules. So we came across yet another thing that doesn't make sense in the rulebook. So part of the shipping convoy stuff, I get all my stuff shipped over from Italy, and one of the features of the game is that the ports can be sabotaged or blocked, which means that there's not enough capacity to operate the way they usually would. They're not as fast at offloading, they can't hold as much stuff. And looking through the book, the very first turn of the game starts with the sunken ship, or half-sunk, at San Garogio. I believe that's how it's pronounced. There's a ship that is half-sunk outside Tobruk's port. And it says the capacity of Tobruk has been reduced from 5 to 7. Now, for those keeping track at home, that is a higher number than 5.
It's some classic campaign for North Africa maths.
It is some very stereotypical this game because it's just so basic. Like they've written the words, it gets reduced from 5 to 7, and they've not even had a cursory glance over it to go, is this number lower than the other number? It's higher. It's higher by 2.
I feel like someone sent over like handwritten drafts or something, and then someone typed it up who's a completely different person, and they've made some guesses here, and they've like misread this 2 as a 7 or something.
That's not a guess though, because if to guess is to extrapolate some kind of idea of what's likely based on the information around it, and if it says reduced from 2, and then you shouldn't then go for a higher number. You shouldn't guess and go, well, this could be any number. This could be higher, I suppose.
No, the guesses are on individual characters. There's been no reading of sentences by whoever typed this up.
Then that's not a guess. Anything could have been typed there. Could have been a letter. I mean, I'm not going to jinx myself by saying that. Could well come across that down the line, where there's just letters when numbers should be.
I mean, that's already happened.
Oh no, that happened. I think we found that last week when it was the 2501 or 2S01. Essentially, this is just another example of it being wrong. And then we did some digging through the rule books, and it does mention in passing the correct score, which is meant to be 2.
Which is why they didn't put it in the addendum, because it's there randomly on a different page.
I mean, you say that, but that's not why. It's because they didn't pick up on it, and by chance we managed to find it. So once again, it has proved itself to be frustrating, but I feel like we're a bit more tempered.
Yeah, this doesn't feel as well, you certainly don't seem as angry at the game as usual.
No, well, I've got very little sleep. I've been barraged by my own gut, so I've got bigger things to focus on than somebody 45 years ago deciding to try and mess with me in the future. Not today. Not today. Bigger fish to fry. Bigger chickens to cook.
Okay, so maybe you should get food poisoning more often. It's better for your attitude.
What a horrible thing to say to a close friend.
I mean, yeah, pretty bad.
That you think I should be poisoned regularly just because it makes your life a little bit calmer.
I mean, why else would you poison anyone? I mean, yeah.
Well, that's something that's part of the game, isn't it? You can poison water supplies.
Yeah, fill them with salt.
Fill them with salt. To be fair, that's usually how I have my meals. Just full of salt.
Yeah.
So I'm already poisoning myself by that metric.
And the metrics of medical science.
Today I have.
You don't have to know in general.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Long run, it's not going to be great.
No. But they'll solve immortality in the next 5 years, and then all the horrible stuff we've done to our bodies will just be wiped away.
Sorry, solve immortality. That makes it sound like there's some sort of immortality surge that's going on.
Yeah, there's a big box, and it's a puzzle to open it, and some of our best minds are working on it.
That's an episode of Doctor Who.
It's the opposite of Pandora's box. It's got all the good stuff in it.
Do you remember that episode of Doctor Who?
The Pandorica.
No.
The Pandorica opens.
No, the better one. You're talking about Matt Smith. I'm talking about the David Tennant one, where it's called School Reunion. It's where Sarah Jane Smith comes back into it.
Oh, it's the stealth pilot for the Sarah Jane Smith School Adventures, whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, I think so. It's the one where K9's in it, and so is Anthony Stewart Head. Great cast, actually, in this episode. And they've fed all of the school children some sort of
and they use them as
stuff in the chips.
or something.
Yeah, they give them chips that make them smart, and they've got to crack it's like this equation that's the building blocks of the universe.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
In box form.
Yeah, we're doing this in this game.
Oh, no, I was talking about scientists. We're not helping anyone.
Yeah, well, we are. We're helping whoever's listening to this now get through their day. Whoever's listening to this before they started this was down in the dumps, and then they were like, what's going on with War with a Mate this week?
Let's check in on the guys.
Yeah, have they finished the game yet? So they checked in, episode 10, like the foolish, naive idiot they were. And I mean, it's 10 episodes. We've said 8 years. Come on. So they've checked in. I don't mean that, listener. So they've listened in, and now they're listening to us wax about Doctor Who, and everything's a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
Everything's feeling a little bit better. My gut doesn't feel as tight.
Why did he stop them solving the thing if it was good?
Because they were going to do something bad with it. Anthony Stewart Head was going to do something nefarious with it. I mean, it's the building blocks to the universe. You don't want to hand that over to anyone with slick back hair.
I mean, I'd only trust someone with slick back hair. Someone who's well put together.
Is that why you
smooth?
Is that why you envy my slick back hair?
You don't have slick back hair. If you did, I would envy it, but it doesn't.
I'm gonna have to slick it back then. I don't have enough hair.
You have to grow it out first.
Yeah, I shaved it off fairly recently, so I'm gonna have to grow it out and then slick it back.
Bad move for the start of the game. You really Samsoned yourself.
No, I can. I really what?
Samsoned.
Samsoned?
Yeah, you know the guy from the Bible who got his hair cut off and it made him weak.
Oh, I don't take my power from my hair. I take it from my.
Seen a distinct lack of power since the haircut, mate.
Well, I did get poison, I suppose.
Yeah.
This wouldn't happen to a full head of hair, James.
And 2 weeks ago, just after the haircut, you were very tired.
That's a good point. Ooh, yeah.
No more haircuts for you.
Oh, whatever.
Unless you want to get weak.
Not until the game ends.
Unless you want your body to be ravaged by sickness and tiredness.
This does feel like a prophecy that I'm being told.
I do have the sight.
You're wearing glasses. You don't have normal sight.
Yeah, my eyes are weaker in reality, so they can see further into the future.
I've tried your glasses on before. You don't have sight. I remember once when we were on a night out and you lost your glasses and you just seemed like you were going to die.
I mean, yeah, it really hurts. Today I was just looking at the map. I was like, I need new glasses. I can't read these numbers.
I mean, yeah, the numbers are really small, to be fair, but also, yeah, you were really straining those eyes. Yeah. We've got a little torch now, don't we, that we use to look at the board.
Yeah, and occasionally point lasers at people.
Yeah, we do sometimes flash the laser at each other, just as a sign of passive-aggressive standoffishness.
Yeah.
We've just got to make sure that we keep on posturing, Cold War style. It's very contemporary for what the game is set as, but yeah, we do a bit of Cold War stuff.
Cold War was pretty cool.
Well, pretty cold, you could say.
Yeah. I mean, it was actually pretty hot, just not for the two guys involved.
Yeah, well, you think there was only two people in the Cold War?
Yeah, Russia and America. Uncle Sam and Mother Winter.
Mother Winter. A distant relative of Father Time.
Yeah,
And that's
his frigid niece.
That's a bizarre family dynamic that you've concocted in your head there.
It's time related, but she's cold.
Right. What? You know what? That's impressive. Usually I'm the one who comes up with the completely derailing tangents, but you've really knocked
That
it out of the
wasn't
park.
true.
there.
Like, you just didn't get it. That
Yeah.
was smart.
It wasn't. You haven't made some sort of point. You're real stick in the mud when it comes to these sort of tangents. You just dig in with your pseudo-political prophecies. Warning me about my hair.
Yeah.
Warning me about Mother Winter.
Russia would have won the Cold War if she hadn't cut her hair.
When did she cut her hair exactly?
1984.
Oh, 1984, eh?
Yeah.
Like the book.
Yeah, that's why she did it.
Because she's an avid reader.
She thought it was a book about when to get a haircut. She didn't read it. She just heard good reviews.
That's why you never judge a book by its cover.
No,
or its
you've got
reviews.
to read it, especially if it's telling you to cut your hair mid-war.
Well, unless it's some sort of hairdressing book. Then you should probably follow its advice for when to cut your hair.
Hairdressers don't tend to focus on power and spiritualness too much.
Yeah, look where that's got them, Andy.
Cutting people's power off.
Street corners.
Back alley shops.
Yeah. All this, they really haven't hit their stride. There's been a lot of industry booms, but one that's always been stagnant is the hairdresser, the barber.
Yeah.
I've noticed actually as well. There's
No one wants to hold up a group who remove things from people.
But one thing that they have managed to maintain after all this time is, the sort of spinning thing outside, the red and white sort of wheel.
The candy cane thing.
Yeah. What is that? What's going on with that? Do you know that?
I think it's from when barbers also used to be surgeons.
Then they don't have a right to have that up outside.
No, but I think it is. I think it's back to then. Because it used to be the barber and the surgeon in town were the same guy, because he's the only one with, like, a sharp knife.
The only man who
He
owns
owns
scissors.
the village knife. So he's in charge of medicine and hair.
Well, yeah, he's a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
So I've got this sharp instrument. I'll use it to do, well, whatever you want, really. You want something cut off? Hair, fingers, a mole. And then he probably also had leeches.
Just medieval surgeons doing cosmetic surgery on moles.
Well, no, it's to cut out any bad stuff. Moles can be
Humans.
bad. Yeah, you don't want a bad mole to sort of develop.
That's true.
Like
and
a
there's
spy.
no way to know if they're good or bad till the end. So just cut them off for yourself.
Yeah, I always sort of wondered about that when I was a kid. Like, what happens if you just
Cut a mole off.
the ones where like skin tags?
Yeah.
What if you just pull one off?
I mean, I've done that before. It
Pull-
bleeds a lot
Right.
for a long time.
Oh
Because
well.
what you've essentially done is you've taken some annoying flap of skin and turned it into a wound.
Oh yeah, no, I suppose that's what that would be.
Yeah.
Well, you've satiated my curiosity. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I don't actually have any skin tags.
I did have one at one point on my back, which was the one I pulled off, and then I just didn't realise till I got changed at the end of the day. I'd ruined a t-shirt. It was just blood all down the back.
That's horrible. What a horror show.
Yeah.
Oh, find different ways to pass your time.
So don't touch your skin tags, guys. Go to the barbers.
You can touch them, just don't pull them off.
No,
I think
you're
there's
right.
I think there's a penis joke in there.
I'm not seeing it.
You're not seeing it, right? Let me break it down for you, buddy. I think I'm feeling a little bit better.
Good.
I think this chicken
You're on the
started.
mend.
Yeah, because now when it comes to the game, it's your goose that's cooked. It's mine sure as fuck wasn't. So like it was like a pink band around the outside. I don't know how that works.
We're not food scientists.
Cooked in the middle. But I actually do think in the game my plan that I've got is sort of decent. I've got a lot of people around the center of the map, as do you. But I've got a lot bigger of a force.
Yeah,
Your force is sort of piddly.
Yes.
We need to start releasing maps, actually, like the pictures.
I'll put them on the website.
Because now we're at the point where the stuff we're talking about...
There's actual visual stuff.
Yeah, because we've got pretty much everything down now. Well, yeah, we will have everything down on the map.
Yeah, all the stuff not down is like hidden from the other player, so it doesn't go on the map.
Yeah, let's start putting it out. We'll start putting it out. People can see, and then they can actually get an idea as to what we're doing. And there's probably also a lot of people listening. And sorry, there's probably. I'm just going to go for percentages. There's probably a good 40-50% of people listening who don't believe that we're playing the game because, I mean, God, we talk so little about it. Can't blame them. But if we start posting the pictures, they can actually visualize what we're talking about to an extent.
Doesn't really help, I don't think.
It doesn't, especially when you don't know the rules and stuff. But we need to put a link into the rules as well or something, just so people can get a little look at the rules.
Yeah, they can Google it. Let's not put a link to the thing on it, just in case there's any issues.
Yeah, I mean, SPI is they're dead.
But its corpse was acquired by a series of corporations, and it's in the hands of Hasbro now. I think.
Yeah, I forgot that Hasbro has their dirty mitts on this.
Yeah, it'll be in their intellectual property archive somewhere, gathering dust.
I'm looking forward to the crossover film between Transformers and the SPI campaign for North Africa. That'll be a good one. It's
the only film longer than The Irishman.
Oh, imagine that 5.5 hour masterpiece.
8 years.
8-year movie. I mean, I'd watch it.
I probably wouldn't.
I'm watching it right now. We're the stars of the show, Andy.
Oh, yeah. When you die and a light flashes before your eyes, you'll see the movie.
Oh, but there's so much I have to skip through to get to it.
You can click your way through your last moments.
Can you? That's so horrible, because at least in Click, Adam Sandler at the end gets to go back and redo it all.
I think that film would have been better if it just didn't.
Yeah, really?
If it was just like the moral of the story is you get one life, don't fuck it up. Just an incredibly dark ending. The film's exactly the same. He like gets fat and alienates his family. And then, is it Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
He was just like, well, you screwed that up, didn't you? And then he just dies and no one goes to his funeral.
You have to say the Christopher Walken bit as Christopher Walken.
I can't do it. Well, you screwed
What was that?
I don't know.
Your face there, trying to just attempt the impression. That was wild.
I'll leave the impressions to you.
No, because you just mock me for them.
Yeah.
Not as easy as it sounds, is it?
Yeah, that's why I don't do them.
Well, I'm not going to try Christopher Walken.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that. But I mean, the film still has that message at the end, though, where it's you just get the one life.
Well, he gets two.
Well, no, he just gets the horrible fever dream of the one that he skipped through.
That should have been his life.
What I would have done is, well, I guess it's pretty cynical. I would have just skipped through my life but got, like, lottery numbers and stuff. And then,
yeah, but he didn't know he was going back.
I would have presumed.
Also,
if I'm Adam Sandler,
clicker would have skipped past him reading stuff because he didn't like doing that. So you would have gone and bought the tickets, but it would have been on autopilot, so you wouldn't remember it.
Only if you press the autopilot button.
No, because remember, it's adaptive. It's also a cautionary tale about AI helping you out.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. Don't guess what I want to help me. Just...
You hear that, Elon Musk? Click. Click is onto you.
I mean, it's really maybe one of the most important tales of the 21st century. Or it was probably out in the 90s, so 20th.
Well, it's, the different archetypes of storytelling, the sort of the main fixtures of story.
Yeah, the hero's journey.
It's like man versus nature,
man versus
man, and then I guess that one's man versus time.
Well, it's man versus God. Isn't Christopher Walken meant to be God in that?
No, he's the angel of death.
Because it's in the same universe as Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty.
Is it?
Yeah.
So he's a sort of villainous counterpart to Morgan Freeman's God.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And how have you come to that conclusion, may I ask?
It's sort of like silly films with weird religious undertones all happen in the same world.
Bruce Almighty doesn't have a religious undertone. It's overtly religious.
Well, I mean, the message of forgiveness and stuff are very subtle.
Yeah, but God's in it.
Yeah, as a metaphor for God.
No, no. Morgan Freeman plays God,
Yeah.
and he.
I've not seen them.
Right. So
I was waiting for Click 2, and then I'd watch the rest of them.
the rest of the Clickiverse.
Yeah. Well, I assume Evan and Bruce team up to get Adam Sandler out of hell so he can have another go at living his life.
Right now, you're just describing the first Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy.
We're a bit Bill and Ted's in there.
No, we were talking about Pirates of the Caribbean the other day.
Would you play? Okay, we'll do your Pirates of the Caribbean thing.
No, I'm interested
Okay.
now.
You've seen Bill and Ted's, right?
Yeah.
You just die, and then Death comes to do the game, and you're like, campaign for North Africa, and then just no one dies for 8 years because he's busy.
Someone actually posted about that on a subreddit the other day.
Oh.
Because now one of the things I do as part of someone who's playing this game and wasting their life is I troll through the sort of subreddits to do with board games, and I'll search to see if anyone's posted stuff about the game. Part of it is because my hubris won't let anyone else beat us. So I need to keep an eye out on them and try and sort of sabotage their events and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, because we won't go faster. We'll slow them down.
Exactly. It's the whole, we don't have to run faster than the lion. We have to run faster than the slowest man. So somebody had posted a question where it was sort of, if you had to play a board game against death, which one would you pick? Someone said the campaign for North Africa, because even if you don't win, you're guaranteed to have 8 years. So, there you go.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
Parallel. Great minds thinking alike. Well done, Reddit commenter.
I feel like you posted that now.
No.
I feel like I found your burner account.
I don't post on the internet.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
You definitely do.
I don't want to expose people.
I bet you're a SoundCloud rapper in secret.
Not really. Millions of followers.
It's not in secret, is it? You're a very overt SoundCloud rapper.
It's just a secret to you.
Why wouldn't you tell me that?
You'll ask for tickets.
Tickets to what? I'm in your house a lot.
Events. Industrial spaces where I play gigs.
You don't have an industrial space where you play anything. If you
Well,
did...
that's just mean.
If you did, why the hell are we playing this game on your floor instead of leaving it somewhere else?
Because raves happen there.
Yeah, I'd rather leave it where a rave is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it means we don't have to set it up every week.
But it will be immediately ruined.
I don't care.
Oh, you just want an excuse to quit.
No,
It wasn't our will that failed. The board got wet.
Exactly. If the board gets wet, we have to instantly quit.
No, we have to buy a new one.
We can't do that. It was so expensive the first time round. We had to buy it at an auction.
Yeah. Maybe not auction next time. Let's not do it next time. Let's not buy the game again.
No. If we don't get it this time, we just pick a different, normal board game. Or we just stop doing this altogether and we just live a normal life again. That'd be great.
To go back.
Oh, before we were doing this.
But you can't go back. That's the message from Click.
Yeah. We really have taken a lot of inspiration from Click in this project.
Yeah.
I still feel really disingenuous when I call this a project.
Why? Because a project sounds serious or like it's something of value.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, yeah.
What we're doing is we're still nearly playing the game. But again, at some point this week, the game will have started. The game will be afoot. In the words of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
The game's afoot.
The game of Campaign for North Africa is afoot.
Yeah. Oh, if Sherlock could figure that one out, be a smarter man than us.
Yeah. And all those people wouldn't have died if he could have just played, not Mycroft, what's his evil guy called? No, it's...
Moriarty.
Yeah, if he just played Moriarty at the game and see who was smarter.
Discombobulate. And then he just kind of slaps him over the face. That's what I'm going to do to you halfway through the game.
You're going to discombobulate me?
Yeah, if you start getting the better of me, I'm gonna slap you over the head.
If you do, I'm going to sneak into your house and shave you to remove your power.
I don't like that because that's very broad. That sounds like you're going to shave everything, like eyebrows.
Yep.
Get up in my nose with one of those nose hair
Oh
shavers.
yeah, you'll be incredibly well groomed. Give you a fade.
That's actually... No, I can't beat Andy at the campaign for North Africa because now I've got a low-tapered face.
That he gave me in my sleep.
Oh, he's such a good barber. He should become a doctor.
Should continue up the barber-surgeon pipeline.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels different nowadays. You couldn't really be a doctor just because you've got a Gillette razor.
Yeah, well, up until like 50 years ago, to be a doctor, you just had to be able to read. That was like the only qualification for doctor or lawyer.
You know what? I don't know what the qualification was to be a game designer in 1978.
Not being able to read, or they would have been a doctor or lawyer.
Yeah, I think dyslexia, dyscalculus, a dash of cruelty, cynicism, spare time.
A lot of spare time.
I think you mix it all together, that's what you've got. And then they didn't even have the courage to play test the whole bloody game. Which means that you do realise that we'll get to a point where we're in such uncharted territory, no one's played the game as long as we will have played it. And it might just fall apart completely.
I mean, we've already passed the point. There's nowhere to Google clarification on stuff.
Yeah, that's what makes the sort of rule issue so frustrating, because we can't check anywhere. It's not like other games where you can just search it and immediately find an answer, or like forum posts. We do this all the time with Dungeons and Dragons, where for like rule disputes or any confusion, we'll Google it, and we'll find, even if there's no definitive answer, like 10 or 12 like posts on Reddit or forums where people have got a consensus. Yeah. But there's nothing even close to that with this.
No, the only posts about it are, look how ridiculous this is. Ha ha, why would anyone play this? It's impossible. And then no one's like, so how does this rule interact with this rule? Because why would you bother? Yeah,
we only ever come across it in sort of novelty context where it's people going, this game's ridiculous, who would play this?
Idiots.
2 of them. Oh, the fact that it's happening now, though, it's good. I think this does feel like progress. This does feel like a big positive step. And the game feels more of a grounded possibility. I don't actually feel as overwhelmed and bewildered by it as I once did.
No, I am really feeling the need for a table or surface that's big enough, but that's just not... It just won't fit in here.
I really don't know, looking around your room now, how it is that we could have something big enough as a surface that isn't just your floor.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to move out anymore.
Yeah, we play it with pretty much all of your furniture moved out of the room, so we sit on the floor and play around it. Yeah, I think we just have to kind of bite the bullet. We're getting slightly faster with the setup and takedown.
I mean, yeah, the setup... Well, it was the first time we'd like set it out with the pieces, but it was pretty quick. We got it all sorted before you got round, and then wasn't like pushed for time. Probably took 45 minutes.
Well, that's it. You usually get a bit of a head start to set it up because it tends to be that it's a weekday. We've both got work. I'll get back. You set up. We're kind of ready to go. Take it down together. It's eaten about an hour into our time, but that's why we're doing this whole homework thing, because that way we're not just stealing our time that we should be spending playing the game. So once we've got our air stuff planned and the naval convoy, then it's actually moving our men around.
Yeah, the war begins in earnest.
And as it goes on, I feel we're 10 of these in. I'm starting to actually understand a bit of the structure here, because we've always said this podcast is an accountability tool. And it definitely is, because I'm realizing now the amount of stuff we're going to be doing as homework, and then the kind of stuff we're going to be doing here together, a lot of it we're not going to be able to just talk about in the podcast and for it to make sense to people.
Yeah, we're going to have to... Well, the details of it just don't. We'll be able to give, hopefully a bit of a top level, these 2 units fought and, you won or whatever. But, yeah, we're not going to... I mean, we're just not going to talk people through. Well, I removed 6% of the fuel from 100 units.
The only way people could truly understand what we're doing and for us to be able to talk about it is if they enter the elite number of individuals who've also read and now understand the rules of the game. So if you're not in that number, You can fuck off. I don't mean that.
I mean, yeah, don't reduce our audience to people who understand the game, because one, they're the only people who know we're fucking up constantly, and two, that's like 8 people in the world.
Yeah, no, please don't go away if you don't know the game. That was us just a few short moons ago, and even now we're still having to re-go over the rules. Now we're at the point where we've read the rules, we understood the rules. Since we're playing now, we have to keep on going back to the rules.
The bit we're doing, though.
Yeah, we have to go back to the specific portion of the rules. So I think because of that, I'm having that sort of revelation now, the epiphany that this is going to be just us talking around the game. That's what this is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we will be able to give updates when things are fighting and like a general sense of who seems to be winning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Well, we committed to buying this and then doing the podcast before we knew anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. We didn't know what we were getting into, really.
I mean, if we did, we probably wouldn't be doing this.
Honestly, no. If I had a chance to sit down and read through all of the rules properly, look at the game, realize how long it's going to take to set up, take down every week, and then doing the podcast on top of it, all of the editing, the releasing, all of the logistics around all of this, I wouldn't have said yes. I wouldn't have suggested it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Is it was your idea. I was like, yeah, okay. And you've hated it constantly since we started.
It's so much. It's so much to do on every corner of it. The game, the recording,
that's it.
Fucking spreadsheets. Oh, but it's yeah. We've said we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm not backing out because someone's going to finish the game eventually. I want that to be us. I think I think Click is the best analogy for this, in the sense of
you wish you could skip it.
Well, no, in the sense of Click isn't real, so we just have to live. So
it might be.
Really, you reckon?
It seemed pretty personal to one guy. For all we know, there could be people all around us clicking their way through lives.
Do you reckon we can find one and take the remote?
Yes, but then you die.
Instantly?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know. It's down to Christopher Walken's death magic.
Right. We need to find Christopher Walken then.
No, because then he'll kill you with death magic.
No, if you just find him.
Just leave the clickers alone.
Loads of people... So are clickers in the same universe as the Jumper universe?
No, the Jumper universe is standalone.
Oh, right, okay, sorry. Well, you've got the movie and you've got the game.
Yeah, but the game's an adaptation of the film. There's no new stuff in it.
It is. It's all from the perspective of the spin-off character.
The Christian guy.
The Christian guy?
Yeah, who's like against them.
No, that's Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
No, it's the other one. It's the other Jumper that Jumper meets.
Does that film end by a guy jumping a car and dying?
No, that's...
he jumps a whole car.
No, that's partway through the film.
And he doesn't die?
No.
Again, much like Click, I'd edit in a death there, if I had been making it.
Stop making all films so needlessly morbid.
Well, Click's less impactful if he gets another go.
No, it makes it...
gone from sort of a fun, like, comedy that people vaguely remember to, like, a very poignant thing about death.
People don't want that from an Adam Sandler film. And if they do, they'd watch stuff like Uncut Gems, where it is a gritty film.
People fucking love being shocked by the fact Adam Sandler's good at acting sometimes.
I mean, it does shock me.
That's also why people loved True Detective Season 2. They were like, oh my god, Vince Vaughn can be serious.
Right, people didn't love the second...
their favourite season.
People didn't love the second season of True Detective.
It was their second favourite season.
I loved the second season of True Detective.
Because you like Vince Vaughn being surprisingly good at acting instead of funny.
I mean, I was blown away by his performance, I can't lie. But people, in general, en masse, hate the second season. Just because the first season was so good, they don't give the second season its own space. So anyone listening, I'd recommend it. If you've watched the first season of True Detective, Hell, even if you've seen the second one and you don't remember it being good, give it another go. It is good. I promise you it's good. But, you know...
Well, you've promised.
I have. If you listen to this, I think
better than this.
I think this is good. So if you're listening, you probably think that as well. We've clearly got common interests, so listen to that. Yeah, don't watch it. Just stick it on in the background. Close your eyes. You'll get the gist.
Yeah, you can just listen to most things.
Yeah, that's basically what people are doing to this.
Because True Detective made no use of like silence or sweeping shots or not dialogue.
I feel like you're being facetious because it was a beautiful program.
It was quite good.
It was beautifully shot.
Would have been better if Cole had died at the end.
Spoilers. Gets the click remote and goes back in time.
Now that would have been awesome.
No, it wouldn't. I can't think of a worse ending.
If True Detective Season 2 was Matthew McConaughey clicking his way through the first season. Or he just goes back and, like you with the lottery tickets, it's like, it's that guy. And they just go catch him immediately. And the rest of it's about him not living life to the fullest.
I'm 90% sure that's what the next Avengers film is going to be.
What?
Tony Stark gets the click remote and becomes Doctor Doom.
That'll be good.
No, it won't. You just
and then he dies at the end.
Is that how you think this game's going to end?
One of us dies at the end.
Yeah.
How else would it be poignant?
I don't know. We finish up a project that we've committed to for the better part of a decade, and then we go out for a meal together, and we sort of reminisce on the days gone by. Thought it was going to be that.
And then we walk down to the pier, and one of us expires as the sun rises.
Sorry, are you trying to tell me that you're really ill or something?
I'll hold on till we're done. Or maybe you'll get ill.
I mean, I'm ill right now.
Yeah, maybe that's going to kill you in 8 years on a pier.
If this food poisoning kills me in 8 years, this is going to be the worst time of my life.
It's going to be a bad 8 years.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely feral. I'm going to be stinking the whole time. This is not the way I want this to go.
Well, if you don't like it, you could curse Morgan Freeman.
We don't have the power or the resources to curse anyone apart from ourselves. That's why we're doing this. This is a curse. This is a plague of both our houses.
Yeah. Direct that outwards once the game ends.
It is... No, this can't be about inflicting curses. This just has to be dialed in and about the game. We just need to finish the game.
And then have a meal and die on a pier. And then I'll be like, why Christopher Walken? Why did you take him from me? And then I'll go and, I don't know, become friends with him. Do a podcast.
So you're fine with it immediately afterwards?
Well, he's got that charisma, doesn't he?
Do you want
Can't stay mad at him, even though he kills you when you get near him.
Do you want to try the impression once more?
I'm Christopher Walken. Yeah.
Well, I can't think of a better soundbite to wrap up today's episode. So that was Christopher Walken as a New York mobster walking.
I've painted a picture with my words.
Yeah, a picture says 1,000 words.
And then the taxi pulls up and he's like, I'm walking here. And he slaps the hood and the guy in the car dies because he's the angel of death. And he goes, should have had a clicker.
Well, I thought I was ill.
No, No, it's not gone well for me.
Oh, right. That's got to be it. I don't think there's anywhere else productive that we're going with this today. That's it. That's us wrapped up. Watch Click and watch True Detective Season 2. And if you've got any thoughts on either of those two things specifically, or this game that we're going to be playing for the next 8 years, then you can drop us in a word at info@warwithamate.co.uk.
Yeah.
And we'll happily let you know what we think about what you think about Andy's Christopher Walken impression.
Yeah. Still waiting for that first email.
Yep. We'll wait with bated breath. And I'm going to go home and try and clean up my breath because I smell.
And
So-
if you get offered one, don't take the clicker to get past the food poisoning,
I'll take it.
because you don't get another go.
Well, I'll take that. I'll take that chance.
Okay.
Good night, everyone,
Stay humble, brave, and subtle.
and cook your chicken thoroughly.